Right when you guys go to school.
29. So 29 we're doing quadratic formula. So negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Whereas ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Okay? So that's the whole quadratic, right? But you have to have it equal to 0. This is equal to 0. So this is A, this is B, and this is C. Alright? We just plug those in. Negative B. Whoops. Sorry about that. Negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. Negative B. So negative 4. B, negative 4. A, 1. C, 1. Okay? Does that make sense, Norman?
Yes, sir. Square quadratic formula.
So, negative is a positive.
Yeah.
He said Norman, and I just like
16 minus 4 all over 2. So I have 4 plus or minus the square root of 12 over 2. What is the square root of 12? Break 12 down.
6.
Good. 2, 6, 3, 1. Right? And then pull out your pair. That's 2 times the square root of 3, right? And so now I have 4 plus or minus 2 square roots of 3 all over 2. Now, what goes into 4, 2, and 2? How many times? 2, once, and once. Done. Same.
Wait, I got negative 2. How did I do that? It just added a negative. Why did I do that?
Alright. Next, what do I do, Wyatt? What do I gotta do? What do I gotta do, Dante?
You just said Wyatt. Why did you say
Because he ain't answering. I need to add 2. Okay, 5u squared plus 8u plus 2 equals 0. Okay? Don't cry next week when you say I go too fast. The more you talk, the faster I go. The more work we're going to add on to the back. The less you talk and the more answers I get, the more questions I get, the less you'll do and the slower I go. You can cry all you want next week and blame it on everybody else. But either you tell them to shut up or I tell them by adding more work. Alright. So, A, B, C. Okay? You plug it in. Negative B plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Then I just plug them in. Negative b, 8b squared, 8 squared. Negative 4a, a is 5, and 5. And then c, 2. Okay? And so, when I do the math, negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 64 minus, what's 20 times 2? 40. Over 10. Well, what is 64 minus 40?
24.
Okay? So I got to figure out what's 24. What's the square root of 24?
2 root 6.
2. 12, 2, 6, 2, 3, 3, 1,
No.
and 2
Wait, what?
root 6.
Okay.
Okay? And so it's 2 root 6 plus or minus the negative 8 all over 10. So what goes into negative 8, 2, and 10?
2.
Negative. Well, you could do negative. You don't have to because this isn't negative. If these are both negative, I would pull out the negative. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. 2 goes into both of them. Negative 4 times plus or minus 6 over 5.
Wow.
Question, Haley. You have your hand up? Or no? You're just stretching your arm? Or are they tripping? Alright, it's tripping. Alright, next.
Yours is long after. I remember right after the game, you're supposed to get food for the game. I forgot what happened.
Alright. The discriminant. Does anyone know or remember the discriminant?
The what?
Discriminant.
No.
Discriminant.
Discriminant.
That's what he said.
B squared minus 4AC. Why is that the discriminant?
It's under the.
It's under the square root.
What?
I love your ringtone, to be honest. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I looked at Norman.
Alright.
I wasn't even gonna say anything. I was just gonna let Norman be Norman.
I was like, in my head, I was like, why is Norman jamming out his ringtone? Norman, your ringtone's good.
Okay. So the discriminant is because if it's negative, right? If you square root of a negative means it's not real.
It's imaginary.
That's right. It's imaginary.
Imaginary math.
If it's the square root of a positive, that means it's 2 real numbers.
Oh, fudge.
2 not real, 2 real, right?
Okay.
And a square root of a 0,
I just got shot.
Perfect.
right?
Time's so perfect.
Square root of a 0 means 1 real solution.
Did you say square root? Just kidding.
Okay? And that's the whole purpose of a discriminant. And so I'm going to be able to plug this in as A, B, and C. So 4 squared minus 4AC, right? So is that going to be positive? Because this is 16 minus 4. Is that positive?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's 2 real solutions. Okay?
I said yeah.
And then we've got this one I got to move over. So 9x squared minus 12x minus 1 equals 0. And then I plug it in. Negative b, or b squared, b squared minus 4a and c. Now right off the bat, minus minus makes a
positive.
plus. So no, right here I know it's going to be positive, right? Done. 2 real solutions. Okay? And then we have this one, where we've got 25t minus 70t plus 49 equals 0. Okay? And I plug them in. B is 70 squared, but it's negative 70, but it doesn't matter. Minus 4a, which is 25, times 49. So then I got to take my calculator, right? Take my calculator out and go, well, what is 70 squared? and I got 4,900.
Jesus.
Okay? And then what is, well, this is 100, right? And that's 49, so that's 4,900, right?
So it's one real solution.
So it's 0, so 1 real solution.
Right?
And if it came up negative, right? If it came up negative,
It would have been 2 not real solutions.
that's it.
Real
It's
solutions.
easy,
Whoa.
right? Next, 47. We just need to figure out how to solve it. 47. So what do you want to do? Do you want to factor it? If it's easy, right? We can go x plus, and then what two numbers multiply to be 18 and they add to be 9?
Why don't you just plug it in?
Well, yeah, we will if we don't, if we can't factor it, right? Can you factor it
Bro, he got
Why don't
you.
you just plug it?
into the formula? Yeah. Well, this we have to solve. We're not. This one we're solving.
Just kidding.
Okay.
Okay.
So with this one, are there two numbers that multiply to be 18 and add to be 9?
Yeah.
9.
What?
3
3
and 6.
and
Oh
6.
my God, how do you do that so fast?
Okay. So then I have x is equal to negative 6 and x is equal to negative 3, and I'm done. Okay. It's that simple. Okay.